Jimmy, really? Did you just say that about the BlueTuber collecting community? How about you tell us how you really feel? We get into the news and information on what James Cameron said about the physical media collecting community, and then get into the most of massive rant I've ever had on this channel, talking about why these are such outrageous statements and Jimmy Cameron should be absolutely ashamed. And then I get into talking about the future of the physical media world, what happens with James Cameron's next 4K transfers. But first, if you love collecting physical media just like me and being a part of this amazing league of mega film fans, go ahead and Xenomorph Claw that like and subscribe. That way you stay entertained and up to date in the world of physical media every single week. And of course, leave in the comments below what do you think of James Cameron's statements and what do you think of his 4K transfers overall. But let's get into this. So, diving into the news here and information with what James Cameron said about his 4K transfers of Aliens and True Lies and the criticisms he put out against his customers just absolutely blew me away. I was shocked by what was said here. And at first, when I heard the stories initially, I thought, wow, is it that bad? What were really the true words? Maybe it was taken out of context or people were implying a lot. Let me go read the information in the articles themselves. And yeah, wow, it was just as bad as most people were saying. So let's go over that information right here. Of course, I will link an article in the description below. You can definitely browse that after you're done with the video. But yeah, let's get into what was said in this article. Three-time Oscar winner took a jab at fans who critiqued the 4K masters of films, Aliens, and True Lies. Remember those popular 4Ks that a lot of people were picking up just as of recent that we waited for such a long time, right? James Cameron has some choice words for fans who had critiques of 4K masters of his films, Aliens and True Lies, and a new interview with the Hollywood Reporter. That's a very trusted source, where he also revealed he's working on a new Terminator project. Cool side note, we will talk about that a little bit later. The three-time Oscar winner was asked by the Hollywood Reporter what he thought of the backlash, considering many fans were excited by the remasters, felt let down, believing the image quality wasn't as high as they wished for or expected it to be. Quotes here: when people start reviewing your grain structure, they need to move out of mom's basement and meet somebody. Cameron said, I'm serious. I mean, are you effing kidding me? I've got a great team that does the transfers. Cameron noted that he himself also put work into the remaster, saying, I do all the color intensity work. I look at every shot, every frame, and then the final transfer is done by a guy who has been with me for years. All the Avatar films are done that way. Everything is done that way. He closes sentiment with Get a Life, people, seriously. Wow. Jimmy, once again, tell us how you really feel. I was so taken back by all of this. Come on, James Cameron, such a well known director who did the Avatar movies, Titanic, just some of the most popular movies of all time, Terminator, Terminator 2. Wow, James Cameron, really, would you say this? Such defensive remarks here, and just to go after the customers. So now it's time for that massive rant. And I take no pleasure in this rant this time because James Cameron, a director I used to really look up to because of his movies, his directing style, just made some of the best products imaginable, and they are still amazing movies. I love a lot of James Cameron's movies here. I even like Avatar movies that are so popular that some people don't seem to like as much anymore. I like his movies. I was so excited to pick up these 4K transfers here and to really get them into my collection because we were waiting on these titles for the longest time to get a really good treatment stateside. And I was just so happy to see us finally get 4Ks of True Lies and Aliens and The Abyss. And wow, that was so awesome to get those in. And I personally, just personally me, I know everybody had their different thoughts on it. Some people hated them, some people might have been okay with them. Me, I was on the okay with them. I actually kind of enjoyed the 4K transfers that were done here because, yes, the grain was really removed. They look scrubbed clean like a new penny. looking like a newer film. And I actually do enjoy that in my home viewing experience. Now, I get the other side that doesn't like those as much because it seems to be different than the original movie, right? How it was originally filmed. They had grain in there. You take out the grain, it gives a different look and vibe and overall feel to the movie. I get it. So if people didn't like it, I totally understand that. And once again, some people are going to like something, some people are going to not like something. But for James Cameron to really go hardcore on the criticisms and just have this kind of statement in such a defensive way to say, really get out of your effing basements. Come on, Jimmy. That's just making a blanket statement, grouping everybody together, saying everybody lives in their mom's basement. I don't live in my mom's basement. Come on, Jimmy. Just wow. That was really just too intense right there. And once again, just so defensive to go after your customers, people that bought products you had input on, or at least you said you worked with it to make sure transfers were going a certain way, even though you had team members kind of finish it up here and help you with it, people you trusted. But to really just go after the people that had, I get it, they had criticisms, right? Nothing's perfect, but what happened to the customer always being right, right? At least in a certain way here, saying that, yeah, a lot of people didn't like the 4K transfers. Why not take that criticism and do something constructive with it for maybe future projects? We got to talk about the future of James Cameron and the physical media world out there. But this just was too intense to not accept the feedback here. It was really disappointing. And oh my gosh, it was just, I don't feel right because once again, just giving a stereotypical kind of blanket statement, grouping everybody together, saying everybody lives in their mom's basement. They got to go out and meet somebody, right? Saying that we don't go out, we don't know anybody, we don't go meet people. What is all of that? Where's that anger, Jimmy? Who hurt you? I don't understand why you would say this in an official kind of interview, especially against your customers that are supporting your products, because obviously they bought your product to then make a criticism on it and give a certain kind of feedback. So maybe some people took it too far on the other side as well, but still, you got to know they're the customers. You got to take their feedback out there and continue just to improve and make the best products possible. That's all you can do, Jimmy. Why get angry at them, alienate them, and push away customers from buying your products? It doesn't make sense to me. Once again, it could have just been a bad day at the office and he just was ready to let loose and vent a little bit. I get it. Some people have those moments where they need to do that, but to do it in an official interview and really just to see how far it was taken was extremely disappointing and really unacceptable to me out there at the very least. But now let's talk about how does this impact the future of the physical media world, this Terminator project where 4Ks and collecting goes next. Let's get into that. And I know Jimmy just got mad at the collectors out there. So is he now going to retaliate in a way where he's not going to want to do certain transfers of his newer movies that come out? Right? We got plenty of Avatar sequels on the schedule. I assume that the studios are still going to push to release them on physical because I'm sure they're all going to make tons of money, over billions of dollars at the box office. They're going to want that extra money that Disney is going to want those physical media sales. But what is Jimmy's part going to be in all of this? Is Jimmy going to just give up and say, I don't even want to do the transfer and oversee it, have another team or other people do it because I got the backlash and heavy critiques from my previous transfers? Why am I going to put the effort now into these new transfers? And even with like Terminator, right? He says there's a Terminator project here that's being worked on. And what does that exactly mean? Is he just going to give that Terminator project to another boutique label to work on? I'm not sure of the exact details on that, but who knows? Maybe that's not the most terrible thing if he does give it to another boutique label. If Disney does that agreement, maybe we'll even get a better transfer. So it could work out better in the long run, but I would assume also the studio Disney would want that Terminator 1 money on a 4K. So I think Disney would probably still release the Terminator themselves, but is Jimmy Cameron going to be very involved with it? I don't know now because once again, you get so much backlash and critique. Some people will often shut down and not really want to, put their best foot forward into that next project because maybe he did really try his best on the last transfers and now he's like, I'm not being appreciated. I'm very upset here. I'm not going to really put any more work and then I need to minimal work into his next projects, Terminator project for 4K, and then of course his Avatar sequels that I'm sure are going to come to 4K. So I don't know how much involvement Jimmy Cameron will have in these next transfers. Once again, this could just be a one off bad interview, right? Bad day at the office. Maybe just needed time to vet, and it's going to work out in the long run. It's going to come back ready to go. Let's make some awesome transfers. I'll take these critiques and try to do something a little bit different. Maybe keep more of the grain intact for the next transfers coming up for, like, say, a Terminator movie. Keep that grain intact. But those are just my thoughts right now. I got to hear from you all out there, the collecting community. What do you think about what James Cameron said about these people picking up on his 4Ks? Were you outraged like I was? Do you understand where he's coming from? What should he have said differently? What happens to future 4K projects from James Cameron out there? We got to have those fun movie conversations down below. Of course, if you're joining the channel for the first time, you want to go ahead and mega click that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you're alerted when a new physical media news topic video post. And then of course, like that button, go ahead and mega smash that as well. Definitely really helps the video out with the algorithm, of course. And then just have a great day watching and talking the movies. I will also link in full-on reviews of all of James Cameron's recent 4Ks that I picked up because, like I said, I go into some details that maybe help change your mind when thinking about his 4K. So I'll link that video in the description below. Make sure to check that one out, of course, right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.